Namaste, Jai Bharat. Peace talks. Pakistan was very enthusiastic about this peace talk. Enthusiastic not because of they wanted to contribute to peace, but they wanted to get some money out of it. For them, money speaks. Money speaks everything. They were trying to charge US also for mediating between Tehran and US. So peace talks, first of all, they were posturing themselves. We are peacemakers of the world. There's a structural contradiction that how can a terrorist state, talk about peace and especially mediation of peace. And Iran per se is yet another terrorist state. Only thing, they are a terrorist state more established than Pakistan. They are proxies. They won't fight straight, they have proxies, and their economic structure is also good enough. They can afford to keep proxies, and they of course would obtain funds from other sources which are evident but not so evident to people, but then otherwise understood sources of money. So this peace talk, they were very boisterous about it, and they were bringing this. They thought, and they kept this propaganda that we have become world center of the world attention, etc. So we are promoting peace, etc. All these stories, which really were very, very, very interesting to the Pakistani people, who are mostly nitwits, not very educated lot, not very thinking lot. They'll give in the emotions. They themselves say that we are Jazbat people, Jazbati. They are very emotionally foolish. Something comes up, everything is temporary, of course. Something comes up, these people just forget their names and everything, and they act into it and jump into it. That's the situation in Pakistan. This made the people, locals, happy, and others, of course, knew that this is just going to be a farce. Now, when you talk peace talk, there are at least two responsible people should be there. On the one hand, it's US and Israel. Is Israel anywhere present in this talk? No. And the Iranians, they say, 70 people came for peace talks, interestingly. Iranians, they say, we would not directly talk to America because America had killed our supreme commander, etc. There can be discussions with Iran if and only if the regime is changed. If the regime is changed, there won't be any need of a discussion at the same time. They can only be talked with the people of a different regime, not the Islamic Republic Guard code controlled regime. It's not possible because they are just continuation of that oppressive regime to the people of Iran. Now really the people of Iran should be attended to. They are helpless, they cannot fight, they don't have such weapons to fight the IRGC. Nonetheless they react, and they are, it's not that they are fools. Iranians are very smart people. They are intelligent enough. They have a history. Persians, when I talk about the Persians, they have a history, great history they have, and we from Bharat have been their close friends for a long time, right from the time or right before the time when Darius was ruling Iran. Darius was technically a Hindu in any case, and they were ruling Iran, and the Iranian people, the Parsis were great people with great civilization, which of course was destroyed by the Omar man with Islamization, through Islamization. So if there is a discussion, it should be with the Persians, the Farsi people, not the radicals. You see a difference between the radicals and the original people of Farsi people, the Avestan speaking people, the Farsi speaking people. They are the original Persians. I just say that they must be Persians henceforth. So it should be with the Persians, not with these radicals who do not have any particular identity except for being radicals. That's only the identity that you can see in them, and they don't claim anything else other than this. Their only identity is radicalism, and they also don't themselves claim that of anything else, because they don't understand other things and they don't want also other things. And then on the other hand, it's US and Israel, and then they are telling that we don't want to talk directly to US, and talking with Israel is just ruled out. What peace talk can you hold is a simple question. And is Pakistan intellectually equipped sufficiently with such ability? Absolutely not. They just see sources of income in all these kind of things. They crave for money, not because they want to help their people, not because they're looking at the welfare of the people, but because from an amount of money which they receive, a larger amount can be swindled and taken into their personal accounts for their personal need, not for the people of Pakistan. That no one bothers. Pakistan don't bother about their own people, their citizens. Iran, present regime of Iran, don't bother about the Persians. They are going to the extent of making women and children stand as guard. That's protecting shield. They're using them as shield to their installations, so that the US won't bomb or Israel won't bomb. You find children etc. in their installations which are sensitive. These people are not bothered with the people. They are not bothered of anything. That's the whole problem with them. They are only bothered of something which they think is reality and which is not. Reality is not that simple for you to be looking at it as before death and after death, and after death you have these things. And these people live in a kind of anticipatory life after death. So how can there be real peace talk? It was bound to collapse, and it did collapse. It did collapse. It is bound to collapse. Who can talk to people of this nature? Nobody can talk to. And at the same time, one party says we won't talk to you directly, and other party, and the US is interested in peace talk. They wanted somehow to get rid of this war. They tried their best somehow, and interestingly, who will mediate for them? That's the whole thing. How Pakistan came into picture is out of helplessness. Helplessness of US. Who would mediate? Will any nation in the world mediate between these two? None of the Arab nations can come because they are already attacked by Iran. Iran had antagonized the Arab Muslims, who are basically Sunni. Of course, Bahrain is not. They're basically Sunnis, but they have antagonized them. Just for nothing, they have been sending drones and missiles to these people's land just because there are American bases there. The plea is genuine that there are American bases there, but the American bases is their lookout actually. They don't want, America offers protections to the whole world provided we pay them. And Arab nations have money, and they don't want to spend money and energy and effort on military, etc. probably. So they keep these Americans there. Instant, something like making instant coffee. Instead of boiling, grinding the coffee seed and boiling it in real coffee flour. But they have this kind of thing. So they attacked the bases. The plea is that. But then they attacked not just US bases. They attacked their oil sources, this thing, that thing, everything in that pretext. So they are already antagonized. Will they mediate for America? And then will our nation take the risk of mediating between these two people? On the one, nobody will listen to anybody misunderstood, and there's no point in mediating. So we states, we don't want to involve in anything because involving is futile. So we stayed back. We did not involve, but we remained friendly to everyone. Definitely to US we have friendship, and with Iran we have our relations. We are not supplying them arms, but we are supplying them food grains. That of course we do, and we will continue doing it. We have this character or tradition or culture of feeding people. So whether they pay money or not is secondary, but when they need food grains, of course we are there to help. So we have a relation of friendship with them. That's not through arms deal, but through some other kind of this kind of things. It's a different level of understanding. So we can't mediate with people, those who can't be mediated. But Pakistan, of course, so long as there's a possibility of getting some money, and also can speak not to the world, because world is not going to accept it as it is, but the people in Pakistan would think that these people are doing a great thing. Asim Munir wanted to show off. Shahbaz Sharif is helpless under the thumb of Asim Munir, but nonetheless he also can say something. Last time I told he is nervous illness, because look at the way he speaks in front of the public. He just becomes emotional and starts kicking the mics off. Inadvertently, of course. Anyway, this is the kind of thing. Mediation was bound to collapse, and it did collapse. Simply wasted time and energy, and nothing comes out of it except lots and lots of unpleasantness. We shall meet. Namaste. Jai Bharat, Jai Shri Ram.